Moving on to committee reports. Ms. Shorter, legislative update.
Yes, I have one update. Bear with me, please. Okay. So as you all may have heard, one of the critical things that we were aware of and that we discussed in 2022 was the possible, I would say, revamping of our Ohio State School Board. Some of those duties would be pulled into the governor's office. There was a bill, it was Senate Bill 178. Now, Senate Bill 178 did not pass. However, there's been a new bill introduced with the same basic tenets. I believe it's under, is that Senate Bill 1?
I think it's Senate Bill 1, first
Right.
thing on the agenda, apparently.
Right. So the provisions that were included in the original bill are still included in this bill. So this would basically rename the Ohio Department of Education to the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. The new department would have two divisions, both headed by the deputy directors, who will sit in the governor's executive workforce board. So the State Board of Education would still appoint a state superintendent, but the superintendent would lose most of their controlling powers. So those items have still been carried into the new bill, from my understanding. The State Board of Education would basically lose the ability to make decisions about the state's learning standards, graduation requirements, and school district report cards. As of right now, there is a call for citizens to reach out to senators and congresspersons at the state level and basically implore those legislators to think about what the real purpose of the State Board of Education should be, and just, speak out as to whether or not you believe that those types of duties should still be held within the State Board. I personally believe that they should. However, at this time, they are just soliciting comments from the public, trying to generate support so that we can continue to advance the notion that the elected officials from the State Board would remain in control of those types of education and governing decisions. Brian, you brought this to my attention, and I appreciate it because I had lost track of that. I thought that this was a done deal and that we were done with this.
Yeah, my understanding is it just didn't gain enough traction before the end of the last session, but clearly it's still something the state's motivated to do. I think we all at times are critical of the ODA and the changing report cards and moving targets, but I also think it was clear what their focus was, and it was on education, and that's what they were there for. And when the state takes it over, I'm not going to be as confident that it's still going to be focused on education.
I agree. I do believe that there's a lot of politicizing in education today, and I do worry about just having equal, having fair, straight, unobstructed lanes. I'd like for the politicians to worry about state governments and state budgets and things like that. And I would rather that educators and those who are proficient with the pedagogy and those that understand education, I want them to stay in this education lane because that's the way it should be.
Having not read the bill or anything, I would kind of be afraid that if that went through, that things would become very volatile, that maybe what's the standard in a report card, for a report card? 1 year, if there's a new governor, then the standards change, and we kind of have to play it by ear depending on who's in charge, what the school report card is going to, what sort of standards we have to adjust for all the time.
I
So,
completely agree. I think that's a great point, Mrs. Gundrum. Excellent point.
Okay, thank you. We'll keep you posted. Butler Tech, I had not had a chance to hand out the Student Success newsletter yet, but I have one for everyone. When you do get your copy, I would draw your attention to the adult education piece. They're highlighting Paramedic Academy graduates. Butler Tech has significantly increased their adult education programs. That's really why they purchased the old LaSwordsville site. It was turned into an RV dealer. There's a large building there that really houses their adult education programs. It's something they've expanded. In fact, a number of graduates come out and then continue their education in their adult education program, but it also serves many adults too in evening hours. So something to take a look at. Thank you. Next up, student achievement. Mrs. Gundrum.
okay, I'm going to go into the Wayback Machine a little bit, because I had actually saved a note to my phone, apparently back in January, and then I lost it. But I wanted to recognize Crossroads sixth grader Marion Sissy Davis. She spent her winter break, this past winter break, in Phoenix at NBA star Chris Paul's basketball camp. She was one of 300 sixth grade girls that were invited, and from across North America. And she actually got selected to be on the top 20 All-Star team for the sixth grade class. So that is a huge achievement and something that she should be really proud of. So congratulations.
And does it say, was that out in Phoenix where
Yes,
you
it
played?
was. Yeah, it was in Phoenix.
Very great, congratulations.
That's very cool.
Parks and Recreation, Mr. Clark.
I want to follow up students with fish. Does anybody like to fish? Anybody? We hiked last time. We was talking about hiking. Now we're fishing. Marsh Lake is now open, and the parks just stocked 250 pounds worth of trout. So if you like to fish, that's the place to be. They're open from 8 to 5, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays through March 31st, and they'll have extended hours. Also, if you check out the park's website or their Facebook page, there are a few openings for some new hires. One of those is around the Fairfield Farmers Market. They are expanding that, so they need some people or someone to kind of help organize and manage that. Also, let's see, Ms. Hauer, are you a crochet, or Dr. Rice, do you crochet? I just had a feeling. The Art Center is looking for some art class teachers, sign language class teachers, crochet as well. There's a few other openings. Also, there's the Easter egg hunt coming up, and they don't call it that. Let's see, it is the Contest Egg Explorer. So you go around to out of the 27 parks that we have, and you'll see these big eggs and get your picture by them, turn those in, you get some prizes. So some fun stuff coming up. It's getting nice out, so a good chance to go out and experience some of the parks we have here in Fairfield.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. You're welcome. Mr. Smith, Planning Commission report?
They did meet, however, there was nothing relevant to the school district to report out.
Great, thank you.